everybody, John from Retired Rider. Hope you all are doing well today. The Harley community, the Harley culture. Let me just say there is nothing like it. As you guys know, I started out many years ago riding metric bikes. And I didn't own my first Harley, which you know this, until 2018. But I was told for years that I should give Harley a try, and I just couldn't, I just couldn't bring myself to buy a Harley. I know we've been through this before, but I had to get on here and talk about it again. I just couldn't, I just didn't, I wasn't for sure that I would fit into that Harley. I don't know. It just seemed like everybody that owned a Harley who was just a snob, or thought they were better than everybody else. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of people out there that are like that. But on the other hand, there's a lot more of the Harley community that is not like that. So the good definitely way outweighs the bad. Man, getting back to what I was saying. So I got my first Harley, 2018, 2006 Road King. Great bike. Again, regret ever selling it. Did a video about that. But I didn't know what I was missing when people told me that they were right. It's hard to explain how you feel when you first get a Harley. I mean, and you first ride your first Harley. I mean, really get out and ride. It's a total different feeling than being on a Honda, a Kawasaki, or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with metric bikes, Kawasaki's, Hondas, Yamahas. There's not a thing wrong with them. You know, I spent many years riding them. And I totally would own another one. As you know, we sold the Vulcan just recently, but I would totally own another one. Now, will that be my second bike? Again, a metric bike? Probably not. Chances are it will be a Harley. So, what kind of Harley? This, we don't know yet, but most likely I will buy a Road Glide. So, that will be our second bike. Road King, like I've told you guys many times in the past, will never go anywhere. It'll stay here forever. It'll be with me forever. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, the Harley community and the Harley culture, just the experience, from my experience of buying new metric bikes to my experience of buying my Harley, was totally different. Yeah, I've had some complaints about dealerships in the past. You guys have seen those videos, I'm sure. I've had some bad experiences. But the feeling of going into the dealership, not what happened with the deal and things like that, but just the feeling of going into the dealership and purchasing a Harley. Not my first Harley, because this 2019 was my second Harley. 2018 I bought from a private owner. But the experience, that experience was great too. Don't get me wrong. But the experience of going into a Harley dealership and buying a new Harley, brand new Harley, is second to none. They do treat you like family. You do get to ring the bell. And it's just a total different atmosphere than going into a Honda dealership or, you know, any other metric bike dealership. It's just a total different atmosphere. You got people just coming in, you know, hanging out, just looking at bikes. You know, they're hanging out outside. They're having a good time. You know, they're just you know, they're not even there to buy a bike. They're just there just to hang out. You go to a Honda dealership, there's nobody there hanging out. You go to Yamaha or Kawasaki or Suzuki. You know, when I bought my new, I had two brand new Suzuki Intruders. When I bought those, there was nobody there hanging out. There was nobody there saying, hey, ring the bell. There was no hurrah about anything, you know, welcome to the community. welcome to the Harley community. Welcome to the Suzuki community. There was nothing like that. So buying those new bikes at those dealerships compared to buying this new bike at a Harley dealership was definitely a way better experience for sure. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like being on your Harley and riding down the road with a group of people riding other Harleys. It's the sound. It's just, there's nothing like it. It's all, I mean, don't get me wrong when I say this though. It's almost like just sense of pride, like it's a sense of belonging, like you belong to something. Now, when I rode my Hondas and my Kawasaki's and rode that with people, it wasn't the same feeling. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and those people have their groups and things like that, and that's great, and I'm not knocking it at all, but it's different. It's different than riding in a group of metric bikes, Hondas, Kawasaki's, Yamahas, whatever, and riding in a group of Harleys. It's totally different. It's night and day. It's just night and day. And on this channel, if you watch me, you watch my videos, you watch my channel, I give much respect to anybody for it. Whatever you ride is fine with me, and I'll show you respect. I'll ride with you. I don't care who you are, what you ride. I don't care if you ride a Can-Am, Riker, or Spider. I'll ride with you. I have no issue with that. You guys know that. So this is not about saying that because you ride a metric bike, or you ride a Honda, you ride a Honda Gold Wing, or you ride, a Yamaha or Suzuki, that you're anything less, because you're not. But I just have to say, it's a very much different experience. It's a different experience from the time you buy that new Harley, the time you first get on the Harley and ride, and it's a different experience riding with a group of Harley riders in the Harley community than it is in the metric bike community. Not to say, like I said, they don't have a great group of people, and they have great, guys that go out and ride, and they have a great group. They do. And I still consider myself part of that group, because I still, my life was, majority of my riding career, if you will, has been on metric bikes. And like I said before, I'll own, I'm sure, another one again. But it's just, it's hard to explain. If you ride a Harley, you understand, you get it. If you don't, at least one time in your life, buy one. Don't say, well, I don't want that culture. I don't fit into that culture. It's just a bunch of drunken, people that go out and drink and ride motorcycles and bar hop and I don't want to be part. That's, don't fall into that. That's just not true. That's not the way the Harley community is. Is there drinkers in the Harley community? Yes. Is there people that do those kind of things? Yes. But that's in any group of riders. And you can find that in people that ride metric bikes. You can find that anywhere. There's bad elements in everything. But the majority of Harley riders in the Harley culture and Harley community are good people, solid people that'll have your back no matter what goes down. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in the metric, community. The Jap bikes, I'm not saying it doesn't happen there. But I can give some insight between the Harley community and, the metric community. I can give some insight because I've been in both. And I was in the, riding metric bikes for years. So I know. And there wasn't that same camaraderie. There's not that same, that's just not there. And I think my own personal opinion is that stems from the history of Harley. Like I've told you guys in the past, I don't know a lot of history about Harley. I'm just learning a lot just in the last few years as I've been riding, since 2018, riding Harleys. I'm learning more and more of the history of Harley. And it has just a great history in this country. And hopefully that stays forever. But, sometimes Harley does piss me off, and I get on here and I got to complain about it. Like when I get on here and complain about their prices and things of that nature, and not really, people say, well, they make the their bikes are better made now than they ever were. Well, they are. You're right. But they could be better. And hopefully they get better. Not to say they ain't good now, because they are. But hopefully they can even further their technology and things of that nature and get better. And I believe they will. But getting back to the Harley community versus the metric bike community, there is a world of difference. And it's just, like I said, it's hard to explain. It's hard to get on here and tell you exactly, to pinpoint what it is, but it's just different. It's different. And if you, like I said, if you've never owned a Harley, go out and buy one, experience it, and you'll know what I'm saying. Because my family and my friends and people I've known for years that I rode with just about fell over when I bought a Harley. When I called them up, said I bought a Harley, they laughed at me. And I sent them a picture. That ain't your bike. I'm like, yeah, I bought a Harley. Because I swore for years, all those years, that I would never ever be a part of Harley. I would never own a Harley, and I denounced Harley. Just denounced Harley. And just one day I just decided, you know what? Everybody tells me I need to ride a Harley, you know, I need to get a Harley, then I'll know, then I'll understand. So I did. And I went out and purchased that Harley. And, you know, I'm glad I did. I really am. I'm really glad I did. I can't wait. I can't wait to ride, period. I couldn't wait to ride even when I owned metric bikes. I couldn't wait to ride. But now that I have my Harley and had my Harley, it's just a different thing. I say, I can't wait to get on that Harley. I can't wait to get out and cruise. It's a total different experience. And I must say, it does, in my opinion, beat out metric bikes. Harley does beat out metric bikes. Just for the simple fact, like I said, the culture, the community, and just the history, the nostalgia, everything about the Harley just beats them. I'm not saying in quality and things like that, definitely not in price, but that's what makes Harley great. It's everything that comes with the bike, the history that comes with the bike, the community that comes with the bike, just all of that nostalgia, everything that comes with the bike. There's so much more you can do with a Harley than you can any Jap bike. You know, you can, the engine upgrades, you know, going from stage 1, stage 2, going up, you know, it's just so much more you can do to make it your own. We've had this video discussion before too. It's just, there's just so much more you can do. There's just so much you can do. There's so much aftermarket. There's so much, especially with the Milwaukee 8. With the Milwaukee 8, 107, 114, there's so much you can do in the aftermarket to make your bike your own, to make it what you want to be. It's just so much more you can do with it. You could do way more with the Milwaukee 8 than you could with the V-twin, you know, 88. There's so much more you can do with the 107 than you could with that other bike. And when Harley came out with the Milwaukee 8, that was a big deal. I didn't realize it at the time. You know, I wasn't, you know, a Harley guy. So now I realize, you know, I loved my 88 V-twin. I loved it. But the Milwaukee 8, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. When Harley made this engine, I know I heard it had some issues at first and all that. But when Harley did this Milwaukee 8, that was the best thing that ever happened to Harley. I mean, it makes it so much easier to upgrade. It's not as expensive as the V-twin was to upgrade. It's just all around a better engine, in my opinion. But yeah, it's just everything about the Harley culture, not just the bike itself, but everything that comes with it. Like I said, the history and everything that comes with it. There's nobody can match it. Honda can't match it. Suzuki can't match it. Kawasaki can't match it. Yamaha can't match it. BMW can't match it. Nobody can match Harley. Indian can't match it. Nobody can. It's just not going to happen. And I hope Harley stays strong and doesn't make, more mistakes like the pricing. They need to do something about their pricing. We've had this discussion before. They need to do something about their pricing. They need to figure that out, or produce bikes that, middle class and just anybody. They need to produce bikes that anybody can afford, quality bikes. And I think Harley will do that. I think Harley will come around to that. But I don't know. I just had to get on here and just say, what a difference there is. I mean, it's just, and it's not me saying that I'm putting my nose down or up in the air to anything metric, because that's just not true. I love all bikes. I love metric bikes. I always will. There's always a place in my heart for metric bikes. If I never own another one again, there always will be a place. And I show everybody much respect no matter what they ride. But it is an experience, and I will never go back. I always will own a Harley. I'll never go back. It's just an experience that you have to experience on your own. So do yourself a favor. If you've never owned a Harley, you've been riding a long time, and you've never owned a Harley, go out and buy one. Go out and buy a used one, and you'll understand what I mean. That's what it took for me. I had to just go ahead and take the leap, convince myself, buy a Harley. And it's the best thing I ever did, was get on a Harley. It's the best thing I ever did. I enjoy riding now. I enjoyed riding then, but I enjoy riding so much more now than I ever have in my life since I've owned a Harley, since 2018. So that's saying a lot, because I love bikes. I love riding. I've been riding dirt bikes and bikes, since I was a kid. So that's saying a lot. But you're never going to understand unless you go out and buy one. So do yourself a favor, like I said, not to be redundant, because you guys watch my videos, you know I am. But buy a Harley. You won't regret it, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's just a great community full of great people. I personally have never met anybody that was, out of line or rude or nasty. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there like that. There's people like that in every group, not just Harley riders, there's people like that just in general. So you're going to find that. But my experiences have been nothing but good. And like I said, there's going to be assholes out there no matter what. So that's going to happen. But my experience with, the Harley community, the Harley culture, and Harleys have just been great, phenomenal. And I wish I would have went to a Harley a lot of years ago, which, better late than never, right? Anyway, that's all I wanted to get on here and say, just how much I really appreciate my Harley, and how much I, love the culture, love the history, learning more about the history of Harley, what Harley, it's fun. It really is. It's you just have that. It's hard to explain, but you have that history behind it, Whereas Jap bikes, no, you really don't. They're not from here. They didn't start off here in America. It's different. Not that there's anything wrong with them. Now, you guys know that. There's not anything wrong with them. I respect you no matter what you ride, but it's not the same. It's really not. There's a lot behind the Harley, and a lot that I still have to learn, and a lot that I appreciate. Anyway, guys, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care now.